that Hamlet was mentally distracted. He sent 2 of Hamlet's former schoolboy friends, Ross of Winnisquam.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
You got them both absolutely right for 10 points. Janet.
Plantagenet, Lancaster, York, Tudor, and Stuart.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're right for 10 points. The heaviest of the halogens. This radioactive, we have William of Exeter. Say again.
Astatine.
Astatine. Judges. What relationship were Goneril and Regan to each other? Cheryl of Memorial. They were sisters for 10 points, correct. Granite State Super Challenge champions, Winnisquam Regional High School.
Channel 11 presents Granite State Challenge. Made possible in part by grants from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Hampshire, ensuring more people in the Granite State. This is no time to be without Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The New Hampshire Sweepstakes Commission, a proud supporter of education in New Hampshire. An anonymous New Hampshire resident. And Digital Equipment Corporation, where we believe a commitment to education is an investment in the future, everyone's future. Featured this week, Alvirne High School and Hanover High School.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Jim Janot, and welcome to Granite State Challenge. We are into our 3rd round of competition. One team is already qualified for our upcoming semifinals. 2 more teams to do battle tonight. The winner to meet Interlakes in an upcoming semifinal round game. So let's show you the teams playing in tonight's quarterfinal round event. First of all, we have the Broncos of Alvirne High School from Hudson in the southern portion of the Granite State. And we have the Marauders of Hanover High School from the town of Hanover in the western portion of the Granite State. So those are our 2 teams playing tonight. Now, let's meet the players. First of all, we have the Broncos of Alvirne High School.
Hi, I'm Scott Greenbaum, and I'm a senior.
I'm Preston Farner, and I'm a senior.
I'm Mark Masterson, and I'm a senior.
I'm Tom Graham, and I'm a senior.
And we know one thing about it, 2 times, that your coach is here, and she is Peggy Lavoie, along with the alternates Marshall Murray and Max Chuford. They are the Broncos of Alvirne High School. And now let's meet their opponents for tonight's game, the Marauders of Hanover High School.
Hi, I'm Ben Foss, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Tom Bogart, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm David Weingart, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Patrick Inskeep, and I'm a senior.
And also with us for tonight's program is the coach of the team, William Murphy, and the alternate is Una Schmid, and they are the Marauders of Hanover High School. Well, our 3rd round of competition, just the same as it has been throughout the season, throughout the winter months. We have our 10-point toss-up questions. We also have a 60-second round and a bonus round. We'll tell you all about that as we proceed through the program. But Hanover and Alvirne, good luck. The winner to the semifinals for 10 points. Who was the ruler of France's first empire? Tom of Alvirne.
Napoleon the First.
Napoleon the First is correct. In a computer, there is a type of chip whose pattern can be changed by the user, and the information it generates is stored on tape or disc or in printed form. Tom of Alvirne.
RAM chip.
RAM chip is what we're looking for, random access memory. Another 10-pointer. This American established one of the first detective agencies in the United Tom of Alvirne.
Pinkerton.
Alan Pinkerton is absolutely right. For another 10 points very quickly, this novel tells the story of an ex-football player who becomes a minister and through charisma and self-promotion becomes a successful evangelist and leader of a large Midwestern church. The author is Sinclair Lewis. What is the novel's title? Tom of Hanover.
Billy Sunday.
Alvirne. Elmer Gantry. An audience I might just warn about talking out loud. For 10 points, who was the forger of Jupiter's thunderbolts and blacksmith, Tom of Alvirne?
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus is right for 10 points. We are still early into our first round. Very quickly, teams, what is the chemical symbol for the element mercury? Tom of Alvirne.
HG.
HG is right. The first settlement in Virginia was made at Jamestown, and we have Preston of Alvirne.
Is it Roanoke Island?
it all for Hanover. The first settlement in Virginia was made at Jamestown in 1607, but the first settlement in Delaware was made at Wilmington by people from what country? David.
Netherlands.
It was Sweden for 10 points. How often are the U.S. congressional and legislative districts reevaluated and altered? Tom of Alvirne.
Every 10 years.
10 years is correct. I'll overrule that, Buzz. Here we go with another 10-pointer. You must answer both parts of this question now to win the toss-up. Both parts. Identify the state capitals of Florida and Vermont. Tom of Alvirne.
Montpelier, Vermont, and Tallahassee, Florida.
Yes, sir. Another 10 points. What contemporary novelist who won a Pulitzer Prize for his book, The Executioner's Song, once ran, Tom of Alvirne?
Norman Mailer.
Norman Mailer. He ran for mayor of New York City. The Rocky Mountains extend from New Mexico to Canada. What mountain range runs the entire length of South America? Pat of Hanover.
The Andes.
The Andes is right, and you're on the board, Hanover. All right, for 10 points. President James Buchanan belonged to what political party? Tom of Hanover.
Democrat.
Democrat, absolutely right for another 10 points. A mythological character fell in love with the statue he had sculptured, and it came to life through the favor of Venus. Identify the sculptor or the sculpture. Tom of Alvirne.
Adonis.
Hanover. For either Pygmalion or Galatia. Galatia for 10 points. If you are interested in studying mountains, would you study geography, demography, orography, or topography? Tom of Hanover.
Topography.
Alvirne. Would be orography. Orography. Another 10-pointer on the line, still in round number 1 of our game. For 10 points, name the American composer whose creations include Peter Gunn, the Pink Panther theme, Tom of Alvirne.
Mancini.
Henry Mancini is correct. The more common name for the medical term alopecia is what? Pat of Hanover.
Depression.
Alvirne. Tom. Well, sometimes when you're bald, you get depressed and you catch the flu. It's baldness, baldness. All right, here we go. Another 10-pointer on the line here. Major John Andre, adjutant to the British General Clinton, was captured in September 1780 out of uniform. Subsequently hanged as a spy, he had just come from a concert with a treasonous Tom of Alvirne.
Benedict Arnold.
He was a treasonous American. They were discussing the surrender of West Point. Name the American. Benedict Arnold is right. For the 10 points here, what name is given to a person who is an expert on the derivation of words? Pat of Hanover.
Entomologist.
Entomologist is absolutely right. A temple dedicated to all the gods. This structure was built, Preston of Alvirne.
The Pantheon.
You're right. Pantheon, built in A.D. 27. All right, looking quickly now, teams. Emily, Anne, and Charlotte were famous. Tom of Alvirne.
Bronte sisters.
Bronte sisters, their surname. AIM, Accuracy in Media, is a conservative group which seeks out errors in newspaper, radio, and television reporting. Identify AIA, which seeks out left-leaning professors. Just that there are none of those in either of the schools playing tonight. Accuracy and Academia. Accuracy and Academia. We've got a minute to play in round number 1. Which New England state did George Washington refer to as the provision state? Because Tom of Alvirne.
Connecticut.
Connecticut is right because of the large quantities of supplies. Another 10-pointer. What is the phrase for the interest rate that large commercial banks charge Preston of Alvirne?
The prime rate.
It is the prime rate. Charge their very best customers. Which we won't ask it. There'll be our whistle ending round number 1, and Alvirne has jumped out to the early lead here in round number 1, 140 to 30 after our first round of play. Okay, we are now ready to head into round number 2. We still have 10-point toss-up questions. This round becomes a little bit more important because the team that identifies the 10-pointer has a chance at bonus points. So a good chance to add to the lead or come back. Hanover, Alvirne, good luck. Here we go. This is for 10 points. Which organ of the body is chiefly affected by emphysema? Pat of Hanover.
Lungs.
The lungs is right for your 10 points. So we will come over to you, Hanover, and your categories are history, science, or geography.
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 It'll be geography. Talk among yourself. Captain Pat gives me your team answers. Locate these famous arches. Arch of Triumph.
In France.
Paris.
France.
Correct for 5 points. Gateway Arch.
New Orleans.
No, let's try it.
New Orleans.
St. Louis. And the Arch of Constantine.
Florence. Istanbul.
It is Rome. 5 out of 15 on their bonus. And we go again with another 10-point toss-up question. He was an enigma of a man, an inventive genius, secretive, eccentric, powerful, and one of the richest men in the world. David of Hanover.
Hughes.
It was Howard Hughes. That's the person we're looking for. So, Marauders, we'll come back to you and offer you history and science again and throw in language arts for good measure.
Science.
Science.
Let's go with the science. You get a series of science questions, and the first one is, a particle carrying a negative charge is called what?
Anion.
No, it's electron.
Electron is correct. If you're sensitive to certain substances, you're said to have what?
An allergy.
Correct for 5 points. A method for dating ancient objects using carbon is called what?
Radioactive carbon-14 dating.
Judges? Yes, they will take that. 5 more, 15 out of 15 on their bonus. Well done. All right, we go with another 10-point toss-up question. Of which, try it again, of which African coast is, I'm going to throw it, judges. Go on to the next one. For 10 points, in which novel, by which author, does Tom forget his former love, Tom of Alvirne?
Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain.
Yes, sir. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Mark Twain. So we'll come over to you, Alvirne, for your first chance at bonus, and we have history, language arts, or French.
History.
We'll go with history. You might want to use paper and pencil in front of you for this. I'm going to have you match some things. Match these famous rulers of antiquity with these ancient kingdoms. Now, the rulers are Solomon, Xerxes, and Hammurabi, and the countries are Babylon, Israel, and Persia. Talk it over, Tom. You give me the 3 matches.
Yeah.
All right.
I got it.
Say it.
Oh, what's that? Okay, thank you. Solomon,
Go ahead.
Israel.
Tell them all to me.
Xerxes, Persia, and Hammurabi, Babylonia.
Close enough is Babylon, but they did get 15 out of 15 on the bonus. They got all 3. All right, teams, here we go. 10-point toss-up question. Name the only non-metallic element that is a liquid at room temperature, Preston of Alvirne.
Bromine.
Bromine is correct for your 10 points. Back to you, Broncos. Language arts, French or presidents?
Language arts. All right, you know it.
President.
Let's go presidents for 5 points each. Who was president when the 21st Amendment was ratified?
Coolidge.
Franklin Roosevelt. The Wright brothers, when the Wright brothers made the first successful airplane flight at Kitty Hawk?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Correct for 5 points. When Hawaii became the 50th state of the Union?
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower's right. 10 out of the 15 on the bonus. And we go with another 10-point toss-up question. You know that ERA stands for the Equal Rights Amendment. In the world of money and finance, David of Hanover.
Individual retirement account.
IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. Correct for 10 points. Well done. Here we go again now, Hanover. Language arts, French or miscellaneous?
Let's go with miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Let's go miscellaneous. I have some potpourri for you for 5 points each. Who was the magician in King Arthur's court?
Merlin.
Correct. How many lines are there in a sonnet?
14.
Correct. How did Cleopatra kill herself?
An asp.
An asp.
An asp bit her. 15 out of 15 on the bonus. Absolutely right. Another 10-point toss-up question. When he was defeated in his bid for the presidency in 1928, his chief obstacle was his Roman Catholic, Tom of Alvirne.
Smith.
Al Smith, specifically. You're right. Broncos, we go with language arts, French or history?
Do you like it?
History.
History, if you like it. He's the boss. He's the captain. All right, history. Name these queens. She was beheaded by her cousin Elizabeth I.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Correct for 5 points. Who succeeded King George VI of England?
Elizabeth II.
Elizabeth II.
Correct. This Empress of Russia reigned from 1762 to 1796.
Catherine the Great.
She did indeed. 15 out of 15. 4 10 points. Teams, to earn the 10 points, give both answers to this question. In the retina of the eye, there are two. We have Tom of Alvirne.
Rods and cones.
2 types of cells which are sensitive to light, rods and cones. You want to write our questions for us too, or what? Here we go. Language arts, French or social studies?
Language arts.
Language arts.
Language arts. We're going to match some more, guys. So here's paper and pencil. Name the following countries, or match the following countries with the language spoken by the majority of the citizens. The countries are Austria, Argentina, and Brazil. The languages are German, Portuguese, and Spanish. Match them up. Captain
Austria
Tom, go ahead.
is German. Argentina is Spanish. And Brazil is Portuguese.
Portuguese, 15 out of 15 is right. And we go, no we don't. Our whistle blows, and we have, after 2 rounds of play, Alvirne still holding on to that lead, 235 to 95 after our second round of competition. Okay, let's go right on. Well, just before we do go right on to our third round, which is our 60-second round, let's introduce you to our judge for tonight's program. She is Betty Kimball. Betty is a retired technical writer and a book editor, and we thank her very, very much for being with us on the program and as being as our judge. All right, round number 3 is our 60-second round. Each team will have a chance to identify 10 questions in 60 seconds or less, 10 points for every correct answer, 10-point bonus if they get them all correct in 60 seconds or less. Hanover, you trail as we head into this round, so let's give you the categories. History, famous dates, or music terms.
History. History.
All right, history it'll be. You know the rules. Talk over among yourself. Captain Pat gives me your answers. If you don't know, you can say pass. Give us answers to these various historical questions. Start the clock. What was JFK's age when he became president?
43.
Correct. What was the Manhattan Project?
It was
Atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Correct. What was established at the San Francisco Conference in 1945?
The UN.
UN.
Correct. What was known as Mr. Madison's War?
War of 1812.
War of 1812.
Correct. Which constitutional amendment deals with the right to own property?
Second.
Second.
5th, name the presiding judge of the Watergate trials.
Warren.
Sirica. In what city was the first U.S. president inaugurated?
It was
Virginia.
New York.
New York.
Correct. What country did the U.S. buy the Virgin Islands from?
Spain.
Denmark. In 1945, what ship did Japan surrender aboard?
Pass.
Missouri. And what was dropped by the Enola Gay?
Atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb is correct. That ends the round. Judges, we'll have you check it out. 6 out of 10 on their 60-second round. Okay, let's come right over to Alvirne. And Alvirne, your categories, your remaining categories are famous dates or music terms.
Famous dates.
Famous dates it'll be. Very simple. Give us these dates. So, start the clock.
Give the dates.
Just give the dates. Start the clock. 3 of the first 5 presidents, ironically, died on this date.
July 4th.
Correct. In what month was Lincoln assassinated?
April.
Correct. What year was McKinley assassinated?
1901.
Correct. What year was George Washington inaugurated?
1789. 1789.
1779. Give the year of the Great Chicago Fire.
1804.
71. What year was the first man put into orbit around the Earth?
1961.
Correct. What year did John Brown raid Harper's Ferry?
1854.
59. When was the Lusitania sunk?
1915.
Correct. What year did Charles Lindbergh first fly across the Atlantic?
1927.
Correct. What year was John Lennon murdered?
1980.
1980. Yes, sir. And that ends the round. Judges, 7 out of 10 on their 60-second round. Well done. So that brings us to the end of our third round. And as the score adds up right in front of us, our competition has completed 305 to 155 after 3 rounds of play. Let's head right into round number 4. Round number 4 means we get right back into our 10-point toss-ups. Teams, no more talking the rest of the way. 10-point toss-ups. Good luck. And here we go. For 10 points, Name the continent rich in natural resources, which is the only continent on Earth where man has not, Tom of Alvirne,
Antarctica.
waged war. Antarctica is right for your 10 points. In 1775, Daniel Boone blazed his wilderness road through a natural pass, David of Hanover.
Cumberland Gap.
Cumberland Gap is what it is called. You're right for 10. The illustrator Norman Rockwell created over 317 Tom of Alvirne
Saturday Evening Post.
covers depicting idealistic American life. They all appeared on Saturday Evening Post covers is right. Another 10-pointer, best known today for his vivid posters and paintings of singers, actors, and other Parisian music hall performers, Mark of Alvirne.
Toulouse-Lautrec.
Henri Toulouse-Lautrec, to be specific. We continue in our fourth and final round for 10 points. The earliest settlement in Galveston was established in 1817 by a famous pirate. Who was he? Tom of Alvirne.
Cook.
Hanover. David.
Blackbeard.
It was Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte. We go with another 10-pointer. Teams. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, as the speed of a spaceship approaches 186,000 miles per second, would time on the spaceship, Preston of Alvirne,
Time would slow down.
it would slow down to the same relative to the time on Earth. Created in 1934, what national park contains the highest mountains? David of Hanover.
Yellowstone.
Say again.
Yellowstone.
You can repeat it all for Alvirne. Created in 1934. What national park contains the highest mountains east of the Mississippi? Preston.
White Mountain National Park.
Not quite as large as the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We go with another 10-point toss-up teams with just under 4 minutes to play. Name the famous 19th century poet who made the Isles of Shoals her summer home for more than 30 years. Tom of Alvirne.
Shelley.
Hanover. David.
Emily Dickinson.
Her name was Celia Thaxter. Celia Thaxter. For 10 points. The shortest book in the Bible is the second book of John. What is the longest book in the Bible? Preston of Alvirne.
Psalms.
Psalms is right for another 10 points. We go again, teams. Give me the full name of the federal agencies whose initials are NLRB. Tom of Alvirne.
National Labor Relations Board.
You got them all. That is correct. The French call her Le Petit Chaperon Rouge. Identify. Tom of Alvirne.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Was it my French pronunciation that did that for you? Absolutely right for 10 points. All right, teams, just under 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes to play. A body immersed in water is buoyed up by a force equal to the weight of the water displaced. Who was the discoverer? Pat of Hanover.
Archimedes.
Archimedes of this scientific principle. You are right for your 10 points. Spaniard Ferdinand Magellan was the first to circumnavigate the globe. Who was the first English captain? Tom of Alvirne.
Drake.
Sir Francis Drake to sail around the world. What American city lies at the junction of the Missouri and Kansas rivers? David of Hanover.
St. Louis.
Alvirne. Tom.
Kansas City.
Kansas City is right for another 10. Very quickly on this one now, teams. The Grand Ole Opry is in what city? Tom of Alvirne. Say
Nashville,
again.
Tennessee.
Nashville is right for your 10. All right, teams, we are now under the 2-minute mark. Here we go, heading into the home stretch. The term Impressionism was originally a scornful word. It was first used in 1874 by a journalist, Tom of Alvirne.
Claude Monet.
Claude Monet, a journalist ridiculing a seascape called Impression Sunrise. Maybe he wrote these questions, Hanover, I'm not sure. Here we go for 10 points. His feast day is December 26th, and it was on his day when good King Wenceslas looked out. Pat of Hanover.
Stephen.
Saint Stephen was the first Christian martyr. You got him. Another 10-pointer, William Eckert, Ford Frick, Happy Chandler, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, Tom of Hanover.
Commissioners of the Major League.
They're all former baseball commissioners. You got it. Choose to be happy and try to make others happy, for when you make others happy, you'll be happy. So said a popular minister, author of The Power of Positive Thinking. Name him. We have Tom of Alvirne.
Peel.
Norman Vincent Peale is right. Under a minute to go, teams. Plankton is the name given to microscopic. David of Hanover.
Algae.
Repeat it for Alvirne. Plankton is the name given to microscopic plants and animals that float with water. What name is given to those that swim in the water? Preston.
Protozoa.
Necton. Necton. The Lifeguards, the Royal Horse Guards, the Grenadier Guards, the Coldstream Guards, the Scots Guards, and the Irish Guards and Welsh Guards are the household troops of whom? Tom of Alvirne.
Great Britain.
Hanover. Pat.
Queen of England.
The monarch of England is what we're looking for. You're right. The Queen of England is correct for your 10 points. Another 10-pointer. No, there's our whistle ending our game. It'll be Alvirne moving on to the semifinals with a win tonight, 425 over 205 for Hanover. Well, our congratulations to the Broncos. As we say, you'll move on into the semifinals to take on Interlakes in a couple of weeks. Hanover High School, congratulations for your 2 wins, and we hope it's been a fun time for you. Well, as we head into our 3rd round, halfway through, next week we have 2 more teams to do battle. The Generals of John Stark Regional High School and the Spartans of White Mountains Regional High School. Until that time, I'm Jim Janot. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and good night.
New Hampshire Journal is coming up next with a report on Bob Smith's race for the Senate seat and a look at the town of Warner's attempt to ban styrofoam cups. That's New Hampshire Journal, next on Channel 11.
Granite State Challenge.
It is the